All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. Coming to you from Raiderland World Headquarters tonight. You're jumping in on the United Supermarkets and Market Street chat line. All of your grocery shopping needs are waiting for you at Market Street. And yeah, you can go online. You can do the whole online deal still and go curbside pickup and do that stuff if you want. Me, I like getting in there, meandering about a little bit, finding out what some of the specials are back there in the meat section and just, enjoying being in a beautiful grocery store. But hey, you shop the way you want to shop. They're going to make it good for you. Tonight, What If Wednesday, brought to you by the Shropshire Agency, Insurance Agency of Texas. We're talking college sports and Texas and OU. What if they were still in the Big 12? How different do you think the college landscape would be if they were still in the Big 12? Would you prefer that or not? You tell us tonight. Texas Tech Hall of Fame new inductees announced yesterday. Aaron Hunt, Ryan Aycock, and B.J. Symons on the football side. We'll focus on that a little bit specifically this evening. Not caring about the others, but some people surprised that B.J. Symons goes into the Hall of Fame and ahead of Graham Harrell. Okay, well, all right. Tech softball a day away from their CWS debut. Define a great CWS for Texas Tech. What would that be? You tell us your questions, your comments. We're looking forward to visiting with you. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. Normally, you start your day at theraiderland.com. Today, you probably did. There's some back end of the site maintenance or something going on that precluded us today from being able to put together the type of column we wanted to put together. So, hopefully this thing will post just fine tonight. We'll see. But don't worry, because you subscribe to us on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, and then at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter, where you're watching all live right now. You get your comments in, thanks to United Supermarket. Don't worry, you won't miss a thing. Brought to you by the Shropshire Agency, though, on What If Wednesday. You don't have to wonder what if. If you've got Shropshire insurance, no matter what happens, you know everything's going to be taken care of. Also by the Reserve, a culinary tavern there on South Quaker, about 103rd, 104th and Quaker Avenue in Lubbock, Texas. A very fun, cool, eclectic menu, but with West Texas type stuff. I mean, we're talking smash burgers and everything else, but they go beyond that. They do. You need to check it out. Great atmosphere. It's not a sports bar, but they show all the Tech games there. And it's well worth if you're in town, coming in from out of town. Put that on your list there at the Reserve. And, of course, all communications brought to you by United Supermarket. All right, let's get it going tonight. Your thoughts, your comments. As long as the discussion and the conversation is good tonight, we'll keep it going. It's What If Wednesday. What if Texas and OU were still in the Big 12? They're not in the SEC. We're living in a world today in What If Wednesday that Texas and OU didn't leave the Big 12. They're still in the league. Well, let's just say Brett Yormark is the commissioner. Would we be seeing what we're seeing out of the SEC and the Big Ten right now? Would it have changed anything? Or would it still be a pitched battle between the Big 12, the SEC, the Big Ten, that it wouldn't have mattered, that the acquisition of Texas and OU, if it didn't happen, they'd still be pursuing the same route? And here's the other question. In a year where Texas Tech has won more Big 12 titles than any other school in the league, would you prefer that Texas and OU still be in the Big 12? Or do you like the deal you've got right now if you're a Texas Tech fan? That's the What If Wednesday question. All right? You tell us what you're thinking. James giving us thumbs up. That's old school right there. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Give us thumbs up, heart. Share that with people, whether you're on our Facebook Live page, our YouTube channel for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, or on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. And hopefully follow on all the platforms. That don't cost nothing. They're all free. It's all good, right? It's all good. It's all free. And we try to tailor different things on different sites to give you a reason more than just the regular reason, but give you some different reasons for subscribing to everything. Like last night on our Facebook page, we were talking about yesterday was the anniversary of the release in 1977 of Smokey and the Bandit. It should be a national holiday. I think we can all agree. And it's probably one of the most quotable movies all time in cinematic history. Like if you meet somebody and they can't quote at least one line from Smokey and the Bandit, there's something fundamentally wrong with them as a person, correct? Can we all agree with that? That if you're getting married and your wife to be has never seen Smokey and the Bandit, is that a red flag? I think it could be. So a lot of different things going on. And like we said, B.J. Symons in the Hall of Fame at Texas Tech. So there's the Hall of Honor, there's the Hall of Fame, and there's the Ring of Honor and all that good stuff. And B.J. Symons going into the Hall of Fame. Without getting into the whole voting and everything else, basically your Letterman's Association and all that stuff, they kind of put that thing together every year. Yeah, that's good. He should be, right? He only started 1 year, but it was a hell of a year. And he stayed. He could have left. But he hung around backing up Cliff Kingsbury. And then we had his shot in 2003. We all saw what happened. And if he doesn't celebrate too crazy there against, what was it, Iowa State, in damages his knee, we could be talking about B.J. Symons having thrown for 7,000 yards in a single season. We tip our cap. Love to see Ryan Aycock getting in there. All the dude did was make big plays at big times. And Aaron Hunt was one of the most consistent guys you've ever seen on a defense. Early years, Mike Leach, setting that defense, and just he played so effectively that he almost got boring. It was just that good. That's a compliment, by the way, Aaron. James says a good College World Series would be a semifinal berth or better. All right, so I guess we can break down on the College World Series side for Texas Tech softball. Great College World Series, good College World Series, meh. So great College World Series. What is that? At least 2 wins? I mean, you've never won a game. And I know you have the National Softball Pitcher of the Year. I understand the impact that one player can have on a team, but still to have never been on that stage before, is it fair to look at this team and go, oh yeah, you just ought to roll out and win 2 or 3 games and be playing into this? I think 2 wins would be great. That if you get 2 wins in your first College World Series appearance, I would consider that great. Again, neophyte to the highest levels of the sport. I don't claim to be a softball expert. Just winning a game your first time there, I think, would be good. If you don't win a game, that would be meh. Is it meh or muh? It's meh. You gotta say it like the kids, meh. But still, it can't be bad. Nothing about being there can be bad. And again, I take my cue from covering Texas Tech baseball, and I know personally how long it took for Tech baseball to get to Omaha, and so many teams that had the ability could have done it in the 90s and early 2000s. But for a break here, an injury there, a guy being ruled ineligible here, that by the time May rolled around, they were never their best team of what they could have been. And then they were a strike or 2 away twice in 1995. The first time they ever made the NCAA tournament, we all know the story. There against Stanford and the Wichita Regional, all that good stuff. So they finally make it in 2014, as we all know. They go 0-2, the year where nobody could get a hit, the year where runs were scarce, and they play TCU and Ole Miss, and they get eliminated by Ole Miss 2-1. And there's the weird, what are the odds that the first time Tech baseball goes to the College World Series, they play Ole Miss, and the first time the College World Series sees Tech softball, they're going to play Ole Miss as well. There's like 100 and something teams, even more than that in baseball and softball, that you could have a chance to play. I know we winnow it down on the best ones. What are the odds? So even if they don't win a game, you'll be disappointed. You will go, man, that stinks. But I can't tell you today that if they go 0-2, that I'm going to say that's bad. And maybe I look at it Pollyannish. I liken it again to the first time the Rangers made the World Series. And was I just, as a fan, happy they were there? Yeah, I was. I was just happy that they were there, that they were in the World Series. Probably the same thing with Tech in 2014. James, I think the draw favors Tech. OU and Texas meet potentially in game 2 on the upper draw. Yeah, all the softball experts keep telling me the draw favors Tech, that Tech's in the better so-called easier draw. All I know that everybody who is there went through a regional and a super regional to get there. And I heard that one time in Omaha about, the ass kicking chicken from coastal Carolina. You got it easy. Oh, you're not playing Vanderbilt or Louisville. You're not playing Miami or Florida. Hey, coastal Carolina. Remind me how that worked out. This is the daily broadcast brought to you tonight by the Shropshire Agency, Shropshire Insurance of Texas. A little bit of a new name. It goes to show just how expansive they are now across the state of Texas. You need to check out their Facebook page, their website, find out what they can do for you. Independent, just like all great Texans and West Texans. Bring you What If Wednesday. We asked the question today for you guys, whether you're on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, Twitter X. You can get in on the United Supermarkets chat line or on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Please subscribe. And when everybody watching on YouTube, live or on the replay, hit like, share it, grow it, get a couple more people on here. We're this close to really exploding one of the algorithms, which is 500 subscribers. And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's massive. There are so few channels that have that many subscribers. It's a credit to you guys that we're that close right now. But if everybody watching tonight, everybody watching on the replay, jumps over there to our YouTube channel for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland and subscribes, huge things. And of course, Facebook, easy to do. You guys know how to do Facebook. Jeff is on that aforementioned YouTube channel. Just happy that Texas Tech is in the national conversation. Which conversation? The conversation in softball, the conversation in football, which you are in the national conversation in football. In basketball, you're in the national conversation in basketball. Which, by the way, kind of goes back to the What If Wednesday question. What if Texas and OU were still in the Big 12? Would you prefer it? And how different would the college landscape be right now? Would we be seeing what we're seeing, where it's the SEC basically and the Big Ten is just eaters and riders in this deal? They're just along for the ride. Hey, they're letting Greg Sankey take all the slings and arrows. They're letting the SEC take all the heat. And the Big Ten's just like, yeah, we'll play you. We'll do whatever. So it's them against us in Big 12 country in the ACC. Do you think that would be going on if Texas and OU were still in the Big 12? And would you prefer them to still be here? Or do you like the deal you got? I kind of like the deal we got right now. Of course, I'm all for disruption. I'm all for blowing up college athletics as we know it. I am all for the eradication of the NCAA. I am that guy. Have been for decades now. Those who know, know. James, if OU and UT stayed, softball most likely aren't Big 12 champs. Same for ladies track. And that's a fair statement, borne out empirically. Now, the softball side, it would have been interesting, certainly. But, yeah, I have no problem saying that if OU were still in this league in Texas to a lesser extent, but OU, it certainly would have been a much more difficult path to a Big 12 title and a Big 12 championship in the tournament for Texas Tech softball, considering that OU is the benchmark, even though they're not the number one seed this year. Until further notice, you got to go through Oklahoma, right? Same thing with UT. That the departures of them probably affected the softball landscape more than any other sport within the Big 12, more so than baseball, more so than basketball, more so than football. I mean, remember, UT and football in the Big 12 over the last several years, they weren't doing anything. They had to go to a lesser conference in the SEC to have a shot. So do you like the deal you got now? How would the deal be different? And we're gonna go with the idea that Brett Yormark is still is the Big 12 commissioner. All right, that Brett Yormark does become the Big 12 commissioner, even though it was born out of UT and OU leaving. That there was still going to be a change at the top of the commissioner deal. Bowlesby, that was going to change. Now, would the people hiring Brett Yormark, would the league have been as aggressive? I don't know. I'd like to think so, but in the alternate universe, we're just going to go with the fact that UT and OU stay. There's a change. Yormark gets the job. What would Yormark look like if he had the power of UT and OU behind him right now in this battle against the SEC and the Big Ten? What would that look like? That if he had those bullets to fire, and I know if you hate UT and OU, I get it, I understand, but it's still real bullets, it's still real leverage, it's still real things that the league would have been able to utilize. What would be different right now? You tell me. That's What If Wednesday, brought to you by the Shropshire Insurance Agency of Texas. Jeff says, I like what we have. If they were still here, they'd still be the insufferable jerks that they've always been. UT insufferable jerks. Okay. Was Oklahoma insufferable jerks, or were they just along for the ride with UT? Do we immediately put OU in the insufferable jerk category? No, UT absolutely 100% insufferable joke. Jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line tonight. It is a Wednesday. We ask, if Texas and Oklahoma were still in the Big 12, how different would the college landscape look today? Would we see what's going on out of the SEC meetings taking place? We see the headlines that we have. Would Greg Sankey be acting like somebody at the major TV network said, do what you want, we're going to back your play, don't worry about anybody else? Texas Tech Hall of Fame B.J. Symons in, we all agree he should be in, right? We all like that. You know, there were some people saying Graham Harrell should have gone first. There's, I know, some not stipulations, but hey, we'd like to bring you in when you can actually be here. And right now, Graham Harrell has a job coaching college football. They're Abilene, and you know, maybe that makes it a little bit more different. We're asking right now, Texas Tech softball, define a great College World Series for them. A good one. What would be disappointing? I think 0-2 would be the only disappointing thing. Anything else after that would be good. Oh, that's funny. Might actually be my real life wife. Here to hijack the show. Anyone want a kitten? We have 6 of them. I think 4 have homes at this point. They are, at the end of this week, they got to go. The house has gotten infinitesimally smaller with the arrival of 6 kittens back around Easter. They're all good. They got good jobs. They're doing well. They're reading. Most of them are reading pretty good. So yeah, if you're looking for a kitten around the South Plains area, let us know. And maybe even a dog or 2. No, I'm just kidding. We're not getting rid of the dogs right now. If they were still here, how would they react to our Matador Club money, respect us, or try to knock us down? They do exactly what they're doing right now. They try to knock you down. You know, that's the Trojan horse thing that I think Cody Campbell got involved in there on the so-called Trump Presidential Commission on Sports, where Nick Saban immediately, people get a hold of him and said, hey, we don't know. We don't want to have anything to do with this Cody Campbell guy. They would absolutely be trying to knock you down in any form or fashion. But if the rules were still the same, and we believe the rules would be the same, they wouldn't have any recourse to do it. Wouldn't have any way to do it. Now, these years later, it might be the impetus for them, with all of a sudden Texas Tech having as many bullets to fire as they do. That might be what would open up UT and OU to leave the Big 12 today. I'm talking in the alt universe, that today, as we sit here today, the SEC meetings would be about, hey, we can go get UT and A&M or UT and Oklahoma. They don't want to be around Texas Tech that's got money. that Cody Campbell, Jason Sellers of the Matador Club might have actually, in a different world, again, if UT and OU were still here, accelerated today their movement to the SEC. We don't want to mess around with that. If UT and Oklahoma State, as your mark, take USC and UCLA and not the Utah schools. Great alt history to line there. Probably not. Because Big Ten still would have had a bigger chip to offer. And that would have been, the first move instead of the SEC taking Texas and OU being the first move and then the Big Ten reacting. It would have been the Big Ten making the first move, going after UCLA and USC, and trying to get in Oregon and basically the only schools that matter out west. None of them matter. None of the markets matter. That's one of the problems with the Big 12 right now, that a lot of the markets you got, they just don't matter at the end of the day, which is why the Big Ten and the SEC feel like they could break off and do their own thing, and why I believe the TV networks have said, yeah, you can break off and do your own thing. You got us games in LA. They care about it in Oregon. That's all that matters. Then we got upper Midwest all the way to the East Coast and down through the Southeast. Yeah, okay, we're good. Oh, we got Austin. We got Dallas. We got Houston. Okay. So I don't think it would have changed your mark going after USC and UCLA, because I think they still would have ended up in the Big Ten. The Big Ten just would have gone first. Now that implies that their athletic director, the guy Kevin, the previous athletic director is now working with the Chicago Bears. Kevin something, can't think of his name right now. That implies that he would have been aggressive enough. Maybe, maybe not. That during that time frame, the Big Ten was really reticent. They were, remember the collegial relationships, and they were going to have collegial relationships with the Pac-12 and the ACC, and the Big Ten was going to be all collegial and all that crap. So maybe they don't move quick enough, but I'll tell you this: neither USC or UCLA would have come to the Big 12 during that time frame. Even with UT and Oklahoma still in, they would not have done it. Their arrogance and hubris would just not have allowed them to affiliate with the Big 12. Bottom line. That's okay. Don't need them, don't want them, don't care. Couple of more minutes left with you tonight. The question tonight: what if Wednesday, brought to you by the Shropshire Insurance Agency of Texas, what if Texas and OU were still in the Big 12 today? How different would college sports be right now? Would we see what's happening out of the SEC media days, or not media days, pardon me, but the spring meetings going on, the tack they're taking, all of those things? And if you were a Tech fan, would you prefer that world then, or the world we have now? You tell me. Raider 1992. So when you say Raider 1992, coming in hot off Twitter, there's some of my Twitter people at Ryan Hyatt Media. Everybody hit click, like it, share it, invite people in. Raider 1992. Does that mean you were born in 92 or you graduated in 92? Curious there. Honestly, think the Big 12 better off without Texas. OU is always a solid member, in my opinion. I mean, if I had to choose between one or two to keep, I would have kept OU just from a convivial standpoint. Better off without Texas. Tech's better off without them. Tech's better off without them, right? Look at the success you're having. Do you like trophies? Do you like winning? You're better off. Is the CWS only going to be shown on ESPN Plus? No, it'll be on ESPN regular, ESPN Plus, and I think even ESPNU. It will be across the entire ESPN spectrum. Sounds like a bad body part. The spectrum. Graduated in 1992. All right, fellow Tech graduate, 1992. Graduated in 1992 after the first summer session, and then had to sit around and wait because they didn't have summer graduation ceremonies. So it was the December graduation ceremony that I walked, and I was just like, why am I doing this? I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for my mom and dad. But yeah, fellow 1992 graduate. We saved the dairy barn. We did all sorts of cool stuff during our time at Texas Tech from about 87, 88 to 1992. Good years. Texas Tech softball. Give me the what would a great tournament be? 1 win, 2 wins. I mean, a great tournament would be you win it. I know that. I get that. So what would be great? What would be good? What would be 0-2? I would feel, and this is so unfair to the program because they've never been there, but I would feel a little empty if they didn't get 1 win with Niger Kennedy, right? That if you didn't get 1 win, you'd just be going, got it. Don't gotta. There ain't no gotta. But yeah, that would feel really empty if you didn't get one. And then Tech Hall of Fame, B.J. Symons in the not one hit wonder, but the 1 year starting quarterback gets into the Tech Hall of Fame. I'm good with that. I was kind of surprised there were some people that were, a little bit down on that, whatever. If he's not playing behind Cliff Kingsbury, he probably starts 4 years, but he's playing behind Cliff Kingsbury. And he is the last, no, not the last, but part of an era that was the last ones where guys stayed. That they did stay at school. That he liked being, B.J. Symons liked being in college, okay? Can we all agree on that? Okay. He liked being in college. He had a good time being in college. He said that while he was in college, he said it after he was in college. He really had a good time being in college. And if I had been B.J. Symons, I probably would have liked being in college too. He is the closest, by the way, over the years, in my opinion, to Rodney Allison of the 70s, and the style and just a little bit of the swagger and a little bit of the this and that. That I look at Rodney Allison and the way he played and conducted himself in the 70s, and then we see B.J. Symons. I'm glad they put him in. I like it. Just 1 year, that's fine. He could have checked out. He didn't. And again, if he doesn't tear up his knee against, I think, Iowa State, he throws for 7,000 yards. It would have been great. Be happy if they just beat an SEC team. Well, you're going to get your chance. Pardon me. Itchy nose. Allergies bad. Up last night from 12:51 to about 4:15, just trying to breathe and everything else. You get your chance against Ole Miss coming up on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Looking forward to it. So, hey, that's tomorrow. I guess we're going to have to wait tomorrow and just do a little diamond talk after the game, and we'll come to you around 7:30 or 8 tomorrow. How does that sound for everybody? I think we can do that. Diamond talk seems in order. Be a cool night, too. Load up on the Domino's pizza, Domino's.com, get the app. They've got some amazing specials right now. The stuffed crust pizza that they've never done before now, which they had a funny little marketing deal asking people, hey, do you like the Domino's stuffed crust pizza better now as opposed to the ones we had before? And the people are like, oh, yeah, now it's much better. And they're like, we never had it before. Ha, joke's on you. I'm not even a stuffed crust guy. I had some the other day. Pretty good. I'm still a thin crust, double pepperoni. And if you can, maybe throw some green chilies or jalapenos on there, I'm a pretty happy guy too on that. But I'm a simple pizza lover. And then, of course, the New York style. Fold it over, eat it folded over. Be a great night. Maybe tomorrow just to load up on some Domino's pizza and watch a little softball. And then we do some diamond talk tomorrow after the game, James on Facebook, you better get to DJ's first diamond talk for the College World Series. Yeah, I wish if DJ's dugout had a location in Oklahoma City, I would have gone up there with David Collier from Raider Nation and would have done a show from a DJ's dugout in Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, they do not have one. And, maybe we'll be back at DJ's dugout in Omaha next year. And I don't know what the DJ's dugout version would be there in Norman or there in Oklahoma City, pardon me. But that would be kind of cool. You guys have been fun. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you for jumping in. I know it's kind of, it's an interesting time of year. You think there's not a lot going on. There really is, but everybody has a lot going on. It's the first, official week of summer, even though not on the calendar. Get that. People are in and out. You got a lot of different schedules. That's why we archive everything we do at theraiderland.com. So if you miss the show in real time, you can watch the replay, see what people are talking about, and then hit us in the comments, either there on the site, or you can get the comments in on our Facebook page for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, and then, of course, everybody ought to be following us on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Thanks again tonight. The Reserve, a culinary tavern waiting for you in Lubbock on Quaker and 103rd. Onion rings. Did I mention the onion rings? Best onion rings, I think, in town right now at the Reserve. The Shropshire Insurance Agency of Texas. I'm going to butcher that until I get it right. Anyhow, they're independent. You know that. And United Supermarkets handling all the communications. I ask you once again, subscribe to all of our platforms, share this with all of your friends, and then join us tomorrow morning at theraiderland.com.